Greetings. You have landed at Words Move Poetry. I am Ruby Body. It's a pleasure to be talking poetry again with you today, this Sunday after a lovely Thanksgiving holiday last Thursday. I do hope that you enjoyed your holiday and that if you are traveling back home, that you will be safe and that you will be traveling with a joy in your heart after enjoying your loved ones. Now, Thanksgiving is such a special day. I was quite happy when yesterday I caught MSNBC's Ali Velshi and his wonderful conversation with a panel of Navajo representatives. They were talking about some of the things that they look forward to, that they are thankful for. And I thought that that conversation could be a jump off for this video. Sometimes we forget the history, and his conversation with the Navajo representatives reminded me of the history, the welcome that the pilgrims got when they arrived at these shores from the nations who were here. Sadly, things took a very sad and bad turn shortly thereafter. The history is the history, it is recorded, but we look to people like Joy Harjo, the first Indigenous American U.S. Poet Laureate, to help us climb over some of the disappointments that the history presents. Velchi's conversation with the Navajo took me directly to Miss Harjo and her poetry, her healing poetry. I would like to read to you one of her pieces as we enter this conversation this Sunday. It is called, "This Morning I Pray for My Enemies." She says, "And whom do I call my enemy? An enemy must be worthy of engagement, in turn the direction of the sun, and keep walking. It's the heart that asks the question, not my furious mind. The heart is the smaller cousin of the sun. It sees and knows everything. It hears the gnashing, even as it hears the blessing. The door to the mind should only open from the heart. An enemy who gets in risks the danger of becoming a friend." And what a lovely way to think about it as we aspire to the light. We recognize the dark side, but we aspire to the light, and we aspire to turn our enemies into friends. If we can do that, surely we would be assured a wonderful thanksgiving and a wonderful praise giving. One of the earliest nature poems I know is often referred to as the 91st Psalm, and in it it talks about forgiving our trespasses and forgiving our own trespasses. And I think that Miss Harjo's poem harkens to that when she says, "This morning I pray for my enemies," because we hurt and we are hurt. So it is the light and the dark, and we do have to exercise every possible discipline to rise to the light. Another one of her poems, I will read an excerpt of it for you. It's called "For Calling the Spirit Back from Wandering the Earth in Its Human Feet." This poem I love because of it's a healing balm She says, do not hold regrets. Cut the ties you have to failure and shame. Ask for forgiveness. She continues, you must call your spirit in a way so that it will want to return. Speak to it as you would to a beloved child. She ends, welcome your spirit back from its wandering. It may return in pieces, in tatters. Gather them together. They will be happy to be found after being lost for so long. Your spirit will need to sleep a while after it is bathed and given clean clothes. Now you can have a party. Invite everyone you know who loves and supports you. Keep room for those who have no place else to go. Make a giveaway and remember, keep the speeches short. Then you must do this. Help the next person find their way through the dark. At Thanksgiving, this is what we seek to do, to love, to support, to find comfort, to help the next person through the dark, especially as we come out of 2 years of difficulty, health difficulties with the COVID pandemic. We try to find our legs once again. We rely on the messages of our heart as we continue to introspect in this end of year exercise that we keep in recognizing Thanksgiving first, then followed by the Christmas. So this is what I wanted to share with you today, Miss Harjo. Celebrate her as the first Indigenous American poet laureate in the United States. She was born in Tulsa, Oklahoma in 1951. Check her out. I have put links to the poems that I referenced in today's video. And I've also put a link to Mr. Velji's conversation with the Navajo. Once again, it was a pleasure being with you. If you like the content, please subscribe and share. Turn on your notifications. Until next week, peace out.